Greetings and salutations folks, my name is Danny and welcome to my video about... Hope that's not backwards. I went to Walker Stalker Convention London 2018 at the Olympia, which was the same place as Comic Con. If you're a regular on my channel you'll have seen that. But if not, I'll link it and you can watch it after. I'm going to tell you about my gold experience. So I bought myself a gold VIP which was £660. And it came with 2 autograph vouchers, 2 photo op vouchers, the poster you just saw, the lanyard you just saw, a gold wristband, and a little pin. And I'm here to tell you, was it worth it? Did I have fun? Who did I meet? What happened? It's Tuesday now and I got home about half an hour ago, so I'm exhausted. If I sound like I'm fed up, that's probably why. So I got the train into London on Friday and I checked into my hotel. Which was Will Call, which I think is a ridiculous name because that's like, who's here? Who's here? Actors, who's here? And they're like, you need to come to Will Call. Oh, actually, you don't need to come to Will Call. Well, what the fuck are we doing then? That I decided to go. I thought it's going to be a lot quieter, but my goodness me, I was there for about 2.5 hours picking up. I had a gold for me, I had a VIP for my friend, I had my photo ops that I had bought, which were 3 separate queues. And so was lining up there. The lining up outside was not that long, that was fine, but then you get in and nobody seemed to know what they were doing, and then people were getting shouted at, please can you all squash in. It's like, oh, I don't even know if I'm in the right fucking queue, I don't know what I'm doing. And so the lady that was shouting, I grabbed her and was like, right, where do you know where I go after this queue, because I was in the gold queue to get the VIP for my friend next. And she said, when you get to the front, just like say, the lady said I should just get it here. So I was like, okay. And once I got to the front, I got my gold stuff, and I said, the lady, like, I didn't say who it was in case she wasn't supposed to tell me that. I was like, someone told me that I should say to get my VIP here as well. And he was like, oh no, the VIP's like one of these ones over here. I was like, no, really, I've been here so long and I'm probably going to faint. I should say now, because I'm speaking so quickly, I'm going to miss some things. I have really, really bad anxiety. Really serious anxiety. I leave the house maybe once, maybe twice a month. I really never am around other humans. I don't speak to other humans very often. I really can't deal with people being in my personal space. So what the fuck are you going to the convention for, Danny? My god. But yeah, I went to Comic Con and I wasn't too bad. I was okay. The photo ops was the worst part in Comic Con, which was completely different this year actually. When I refer to Comic Con, I'm talking about London Film and Comic Con, which was in July in the exact same building. So when I'm making comparisons, that's what I'm talking about. And I've got vlogs and my experience of that, so you can see if you're doing that as well, or if you're just interested to see how it's different to other conventions. So I eventually picked up my stuff, got the VIP, queued again for the photo ops. The good thing was, with the photo op queue, I think several queues anyway, the other people there will probably talk to you if you accidentally sort of make eye contact. Even if you just complain, oh god, how long have you been waiting? And it's just really nice to, it makes the time go quicker. My friend was supposed to be coming as well, but he decided not to, so I had to try and sell his VIP ticket as well, which I had bought him. He hadn't paid me, which is okay. Don't trust people even if you love them, that's a lesson learned. But luckily somebody was going to buy it. The VIP ticket was 190. I ended up selling it to someone for 60, I think. But there's a point there, don't buy tickets secondhand, ever. I had already picked up my ticket. The problem with people getting scammed is they will like sell you the email. So they'll sell you the code to go and scan to pick up your tickets, but they'll have sold that to 20 odd people, so that's why that does not work. I mean, if you're going to buy secondhand, there are going to be genuine people, but if you're buying on eBay or online, there's no guarantee. If you're in person, you can see that they have passed you the lanyard, then, I mean, unless they're really good at forging these sort of things, but you know what I mean, just don't buy secondhand. Imagine travelling to London and then finding out you can't get in. Okay, so I've had dinner, I'm all lovely and settled. 10 o'clock, just after 10 o'clock, I'm like, oh, I'm so tired, I really want to go to bed. Let's just settle down, do my last minute Facebook scrolling. Andrew Lincoln has cancelled. So yeah, so many of us were gutted to not be able to use our add-on voucher. What could have been? Somebody said in one of the groups that they asked Norman what the matter was, and Andy's daughter was apparently ill. I'm hoping she's okay, because he does it for charity, so it must be serious to cancel at the last minute. I pretty much didn't sleep that night. got up officially at about 6 o'clock. I wasn't planning on going to the venue really early and queuing up early. That's one reason I went for gold, was so that we'd have our own queue. I was really annoyed when I found out that you have to have clear backpacks or just normal bags smaller than a certain size. But I bought a clear one, and it fits the A4 folder that you can put your thingies in. It actually fits really comfortably. That looks quite tight, but it is very comfortable. That's a proper full size one. And I put all the bits that I needed. I had a bottle of water. It says you need a unopened drinks, but honestly, right. I'm gonna rant for a minute about the bags. There was a major problem on Saturday where General were pretty much not allowed in. I was reading that they weren't even getting in until 2 o'clock when they'd been there since before opening time. And this was apparently because people had brought regular bags. So they were checking these bags, putting a sticker on them saying they have been checked. But somebody in one of the lines brought up, well, what if they just nip out like for a breather or something and then they come back in? The bags are they going to be checked every single fucking time? Because it's already got the sticker on, it's been checked, whatever. But the point is, these people were arguing that, well, it wasn't like this last year, or it doesn't say that in the rules, or whatever. But I'm actually quite alright with the see-through backpack. I thought it was going to be a big problem. I was like, well, what about those of us that have medicine and lady items? I don't know, whatever it is you might be embarrassed about, or just not want people to know. What if you have your wallet on show or something? But it was not as bad as I thought. For one thing, what are the odds people are going to be walking around going, oh my god, she's got, like, panic attack medication, what a weirdo. What are the odds that people are going to judge you for something like that? They're going to be going, oh my god, there's Melissa McBride over there. They're not going to give a shit what you have in your bag. But when I did enter with my see-through bag, they pretty much just sort of looked, yeah, she's got a see-through bag, she's definitely not got dynamite in it. But how do they know? I might be a massive weirdo. I am a massive weirdo, but not that terrorist sort of weirdo. So gold, platinums went in first, of course, then golds. It was actually really comfortable at this point. Once we were in, it was like, oh. But I had my photo ops, my main ones, first thing in the morning, 9:30. I was really worried originally that I wasn't going to get in time, because last year with Comic Con, Kevin had a diamond pass for Richard Dean Anderson. He had it at 10 o'clock. We got there about 8:30, and they weren't letting us in, because they said, make sure you just speak up to the staff and they'll let you in if you've got an early photo op. It got to 10 o'clock. We were still in the queue, really trying to get there. And he was the last person. I would say he knows Richard Dean Anderson, but that's a whole other story. Go and watch those videos. So we just about made that, but I comfortably made these photo ops in the morning. And the first one I had was Norman Reedus. And I had a pose planned out. Now here's the thing with photo ops. One, it's really difficult to have the courage to describe what you want to say. Two, you have only got a few seconds to do it. Three, have your phone ready with the picture on it. Either find one on Google or one that somebody else has done and save the picture, or you can have a friend and do the pose and say, take a picture of that and say, can we do this? But it was right. This was the pose. I'm actually really happy he did that. I'm not sure if he was going to want to do it. You have your bag down, you grab your bag from the table that's right on the side, go around and then straight away join Jeffrey's queue. Instead of picking it up, the photo, join that queue. Because they were on at the same time. Jeffrey and Norman's photos were on at the same time. But they advised to do normal first. And this was actually much more comfortable than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be super fast paced. How the hell are we going to get there in time? But because there was problems with the General, the venue wasn't that full. It was actually quite chilled out at that point. We were alright. And I did Jeffrey's one and I showed a picture that somebody else had done with him before. And he was really happy to do it. He was super cool. Which has turned out alright as well, I think. And I strolled around for a while. My next thing was Pollyanna's photo at 11. So I went around all the vendors and I ended up buying... What did I buy? Bird Person Funko. My plan was to use Sunday because I had most of my planned things for Saturday. Sorry, God, my tongue is getting swollen talking so fast. And to use Sunday for the things that I wish I had done and shopping. Small bit of shopping. I got a cup of tea. Even the stall that had like some food in it, there was barely anyone there. There was only a couple of people in the queue, and when everyone was let in, it was like there was absolutely no chance of you getting anything to eat or drink. You would be in that queue for about an hour. And at this point I was comfortable. The amount of platinums and golds, and I don't know if VIPs are in at this point, probably were in the venue. That felt like a full venue to me. GAs weren't even let in yet. because there was this problem with the bag. That's the amount I felt comfortable with. That's the amount of people. But yeah, I think I had a photo, and I said to her, once I got into the photo thing, I said, can we do some sort of like a best friend swaddle? And she gave me this big hug, and she was so nice, so nice, and she was really enthusiastic about it. After I got her picture, I went into Jeffrey's auto queue. I needed to get Lucille signed, and I did. And so Jeffrey's queue was moving quite slowly. It was apparently no VIPs and certainly no GAs, those poor peasants. Poor peasants as in, I feel sorry for them, not poor peasants as in... But yeah, Jeffrey's queue took ages. Several of us like sat down and shuffled along a bit. Even though it was small queue areas, he was taking his time with people, which is good. It's nice to have a conversation with someone you admire. But it did mean that a lot of people missed out. And there was a lady in the queue that gave me this. Thank you. One of the people, there were two people in particular that I spoke to sort of throughout the weekend that felt like friends. They were so nice. That one of them was, I don't know how much to talk about because it's obviously their private lives. She ended up having Norman's tattoo on her head, which, if you know about it, you know about it. You know, it's been all over the place. But this lady, she was so nice. She's her and her friend really calmed me down on a Saturday mostly, but I was really pleased to be able to talk to them. And Jeffrey was talking to me. I really wish, when you interact with these people, somebody said you should write down or write on your phone what the conversation was, because an hour later you will have completely forgotten. You want to tell people your interaction with them, but you will have forgotten. So make sure you write, they said this, they said that. Once you've left, don't do it while you're doing it. Like, I asked him about his daughter, and are they okay? How's he managing to juggle everything? And he was telling me he can't feed her, so Hillary has to do all of that, and he makes sure Hillary's okay. And then we spoke about Paxton, and he said, I just chopped his nuts off. I was like, what, you did? And he said, yeah, I wanted to look into his eyes. Okay. That's Jeffrey for you. He's really friendly. He's actually really comfortable to be around. He's sort of like the uncle you look forward to seeing at Christmas, but you don't get to see very often. This is post-train journey. This isn't hair done for the video. Shouting right into the microphone here. Oh, after that, I desperately wanted to put Lucille down. I didn't want to be carrying it around. It's got the signature on it. So I went back to the hotel, had a rest for a little while, put her down, and then I had Melissa McBride's photo up, which was later in the day. So I had lunch and everything. And I also bought a Stephen Ogg photo from someone else. I already had one, but I wanted another one. I'm so glad I did. I will show you that when I come to it. I've also got a burn here. It was so bad. This is it when it's almost healed. It's been so sore. It's like a second-degree burn. It's gone all the way through. The first layer sort of mangled like a horror film. It was white immediately. It would have blistered, but because it was so mangled and bleeding, it didn't. And the underlayer cooked. Yeah, pity me. It was funny actually. There was somebody that was trying to calm me down when I was getting anxious for one of the photos. And she was really helping me out, and she sort of grabbed my hands, and it was like, because I had the plaster there, she was sort of grabbing that, and I was like, gah! But at least physical pain's better than mental pain. So then later in the day, it was about 5:30 or something like that, I had Melissa McBride's photo, and I hadn't met her before. I hadn't really heard anything about her. Obviously, I love Carol. This was a little bit tricky, and I don't know how I'm going to describe this. What happened? Nothing happened, but my experience. Just shut up. I had a photo of, do you know the Jonah Hill gif where he's going like that? But I had a photo of it, so it's just like being excited like that. I thought she'd be up for that. So I showed her. I was like, can we please do this? Like, we're really excited. She was just like, oh. And because it's so quick, you're under so much pressure to describe what you want and give them a chance to say yes or no to it, of course. They have the right to refuse anything. And so I quickly put my phone down on the table because I had a skirt on and my pockets weren't quite usable. It wouldn't have got it in time. And she said, what, you want me to do that? I was like, can we both do it? And I was like, I didn't know what she meant. I didn't know if that was her saying, oh, I don't really want to do that. You know what I mean? I was overthinking it. And you can see it in my face a little bit in the picture. The picture actually turned out alright. She looks fantastic. So I took the picture. This is it. I'll show you it now. Doesn't she look fantastic? She's really photogenic. I looked scared as opposed to excited, but okay. It was like next, but after we did that, she was screaming. She sort of went, ah! Like she was really trying. And then afterwards, she didn't look at me or say bye or like sort of give me a chance to say thank you so much, which all the other photo ops I've ever done has been the case. Sometimes they even sort of give you a hug to say bye, but she didn't even look at me, and I was, oh my god, I was mortified really, and I was overthinking that for the rest of the night. I was thinking, oh my god, why didn't I just want a hug like everybody else? And I was googling it and I was reading that she's got anxiety, so I thought, fuck, if she's got anxiety, maybe she didn't feel like she could say she didn't want to do it. But then I'll tell you more afterwards. I've got more to tell you about that. So straight after that, I was really anxious now. I was almost fighting off tears, because that's just how it is when your brain is working overtime. Things are stressful. Even though it's a really nice event and there's nice people all around you, it can still get a little bit too much to be around so many people. And I had my Stephen Ogg photo. He was the last one in the day, so I had all this time to get sort of messy and sweaty and... Okay, so I am a major Stephen Ogg fan. I'm such a big fan. Like, my desk here is covered with all sorts of Stephen Ogg stuff. But yeah, I'm a big gamer, in case you don't know my channel. And GTA 5 was... I absolutely loved it. Trevor Phillips is like one of my favourite game characters of all time. But you get it. Big fan. I went for the photo, and I was still really anxious about the Melissa thing, and I got straight into his queue. Aisle 11. The photo ops are done in these massive strips. It was a lot easier than I expected it to be, and so much better than Comic Con was in July. So much better. It's much clearer where you need to be, because, like they said, there'd be strips on the floor at Comic Con, but there weren't. This is really clear rows, and then on the rows there will be signs at the front as well, like whiteboard signs. And you can probably, if you feel comfortable asking other people in the queue, are you like the VIP line or something like that? Everybody that I had to speak to was nice. That sounds awful, doesn't it? When I say have to, I mean in occasions where I wouldn't have been having a conversation and I was just, you know. So yeah, they had put Stephen's gold sign on the wrong queue because they were so long. They must have trailed it down and accidentally put it one that way. So it was platinum, then it was supposed to be gold a bit further down. Presumably they didn't need the whole row for platinum, so they sorry. And that row was VIP and then general, but they had put platinum and then gold was sort of in the VIP line, so we were queuing behind that, and I was sort of hovering on the two lanes in case loads of golds and everything pushed past us. I was like, oh god. I didn't want to speak to anybody at this point. I just wanted to go to bed because I was mortified by the Melissa thing. I was fighting off tears thinking, oh, what an idiot. And so I was panicking about the sign, and there was a family in front of me. I thought, right, just say it. And I said to them, like, are you guys gold for Stephen? And they were like, yeah. I said, God, because I think they've put the sign in the wrong one, hoping that they'd be brave enough to move it. And they were saying, yeah, oh yeah, we've seen that. I think they might be doing it to let all the platinums in or something like that. But it did go okay. Eventually somebody did come over and somebody grabbed them. We think it's in the wrong one, so that was okay. And then it was my turn for the picture. I had two pictures, and for the first one, I had my Simon baseball tee on. We're done talking, time to listen. And I wanted him to do a sort of Trevor style choke, like just put his hands around my neck, because then the t-shirt would show as well. And I just said to him, can you sort of stand behind me and strangle me and look angry? And this is the picture. He's like, what, something like this? Because he's done ones like that before. And then he said, actually no, because I want to get that t-shirt in view. So he went like that. And I think that was so cool. It was a really good picture. Then my second one, I said, can I just have a big hug? And we had a hug one. I was so happy that I got two photos because I could do a cool one and a special one. So, cool and special. They're both cool and special. And then they were saying that he is doing some autographs after this. But the announcement was saying, the event is over, please go home, something like that. But I decided to go and queue for him anyway, and I was like at the front of the queue waiting, and then I saw his girlfriend like come over to the table, and he came back from the photo ops and they were talking for a while, and I broke a little bit. I started to cry slightly. I was just really trying to focus to breathe. I didn't want to say how like anxious I was. I wanted to talk to him. I wanted to get some proper interaction, but of course I didn't. Well, I sort of did. I wrote a letter and I gave that to him so that he could sort of read it in case I couldn't get my words out, which I would advise you to do. So I was talking to Stephen and I was telling him, I'm sorry I'm such a wreck. And he was like, you are not a wreck. I can show you what a wreck is if you want. I wasn't able to tell him how much he meant to me, but I think he got that. I was a big fan. And like on my phone, my lock screen is Jimmy Simpson, who I've got a major crush on. And he was like, is that Jimmy Simpson? When we were taking our photos, because I had gone to sleep. And I was like, oh yeah, you know him, like, Westworld, obviously, they know each other. And I wish I spoke more about it, but of course I was here for him. So there's no point, yeah. And he said, oh, come along tomorrow as well. And I actually sort of regret not coming along tomorrow as well. I was going to go on the Sunday back to Stephen's, maybe get some more pictures or something, but I wasn't able to because I was not very well. That was the end of the day, basically. I had 2 photos with him, got his autograph, spoke for ages, got a couple of pictures. And again, he wanted to get my t-shirt in shot. He loved my t-shirt. He took a picture of it on his phone so that he could have it too. I was planning on coming along later, but I was worried it would be a little bit too full. So I decided to go like 8:30 again and queue up to get in at 9. I didn't have any photo ops on the Sunday, but I needed to get my Norman autograph, which I had with my gold. That was my last official one. And I also wanted to go to meet Melissa. I didn't want my last sort of interaction with her to be one that made me feel anxious. So I got in at 9. She wasn't there until 10. That's when everybody sort of started. That's when it started officially. So I was sitting on the floor like for a while, working myself up. And then she got there and I said to her, firstly, I said, I'm so sorry about the photo yesterday. And then I explained how anxious I am and was. And I said, like, I've got anxiety. And she said, oh, me too. And it was obvious that I said, like, I don't want you to hate me. I didn't know what. And I tried to explain everything that I just explained to you. And she was like, no, I definitely don't hate you. And she understood how anxiety makes you overthink things. And she was actually really, really sweet. It sounded like it really meant a lot. Because I said to her, how, with anxiety, it must be really difficult to do these sort of events. And she was talking to me about it, and she's like, just tries to remember how much it means to everybody she's meeting. And the way she was saying it, she was super grateful for everybody wanting to meet her. And she was only £35 for an autograph. Even though she's a big deal, she wasn't doing photos though. She was a big no for photos. You weren't allowed to take them from far away as well. And some people didn't respect that rule, which I was a little disappointed in. So yeah, even though I was super anxious about that, this is a lesson for you. If you have a photo with someone and you're like, oh god, that didn't really go right, if you don't get the chance to meet them and talk to them about it, they probably don't even remember you, to be honest. They're not going to be hating you, for sure. There are some people that take it too far and they try to touch the guests in ways they shouldn't, so you are definitely not a bad person for asking for a pose. And then straight after Melissa, the place started to get really busy. And I went for Norman. He must have just come off his photo op, so I joined the queue. Absolute crowds around him. Everybody was trying to clear people. All the general and VIP, because they weren't allowed in the queue because he was so busy. They were sort of crowding round and being held back by a rope and being told, can you stop, can you come back? Everyone kept breaking the rule and going forward and taking a picture and sort of hovering around. And it was fucking crowding everyone. And I think this is why they did pre-sales, so that there was a chance for everybody to get to meet the people they needed to. I cannot imagine what it was like to be general when I felt like I was rushed for time as a gold and the queues were so long for some of them. I just can't fucking imagine. I would not go as general. Go all that way, imagine just to be turned away. I don't know how long I was in Norman's queue, but I remember it was another snake one, and then you go into the next section and then the next snakes, and then you're at the front. One section of those snakes, I was on my phone, I was like scrolling, who can I talk to pass this time? And I remember thinking, one part of those strips, bloody hell, it was 45 minutes ago that I told my friend I'm in Norman's queue. 45 minutes, and I ran into one tiny section of strip, and oh my god. And I was looking around, I was thinking, please, somebody else sit down. I don't want to be the first person to sit down on the floor in this queue. And once I got to the second section, I gave up, and I was like, I need to sit down. It was 2.5 hours-ish that was in the queue, I think, 2.5, 3 hours. And I remember reading people last year saying they were queuing for Norman for 6 hours. How the fuck can you survive that long? Maybe you brought food and drink, that makes a little bit of sense, and maybe you had friends to entertain you, but Jesus Christ, I wanted to cave my head in. And I ended up being ever so slightly gutted when I eventually got to the front. The lady in front of me was one of those people that brought City String, so she went with Norman to do that, and then was talking to her for ages. She got a few things signed. So because I was after her, I didn't really get anything. I didn't get a conversation, or, you know, it's like leveling up in a video game, and then you're the beginning part of the experience. It's like, now it's ages until the next level. You what's it called? When you're on a sugar crash, something like that. I don't know. You know what I mean, though. So, and I said to him, like, can I please have a proper hug? And I said, because we had a super cool photo that I didn't get to hug you in. And he's like, sure. And he leaned over the table. I was like, fuck. What I meant by proper hug was, can you come out a little bit and we can hug properly? But it was okay. I didn't say that, so. He did hug me nicely, though, over the table. He was really pleasant, even though he must meet so many people. He must be fucking exhausted. I just realised I've missed someone out, and I'm going to tell you after. I got my Funko signed. I actually can't remember my short conversation with him. But I remember thinking, I was trying to think of something to say, something really cool to say. And then I looked down and he'd already finished signing and turned it, like, for me to take. And I was like, oh shit, that's it, bye. All this time queuing and 120 something pounds, and that was it. But that's how it is. There's a lot of people. And I was the one after the fun one. I went to meet Pollyanna, of course, after her photo was super cool. And I wanted to meet her anyway because I've seen her in several things and I think she's a badass woman. And of all of what happened, even though I'm a major Stephen Ong fan, her experience felt the nicest. I came away feeling really nice, and when I think about it, I feel really lovely to think about it. She was speaking to everybody like friends, like she was truly happy to be there. She must have worked in retail at some point in her life because she just had this sort of way of speaking that was just so nice. And she had to have a break, and I was at the front, and I was the first person after her break, so I was there, and I was like, I picked up the picture, and she was sort of getting ready to carry on, so I had extra time with her, basically. And we were talking, and it was so nice, and I can't remember what I said, but it was a really long conversation. We were talking about, we went on and talked about hair, because obviously she's changed her hair, and she dyed it, and she was like, she just wanted to be herself for a little while, because I was like, oh, I really don't want Jadis to die. And she was talking about wanting to go, like, other colours, and we were talking about how bleach makes it worse, and I was like, be careful, and make sure, because I've been told if I bleach this, it goes brighter, so, yeah, because her hair is obviously a lot more valuable than the average person. And I was super nervous, and she was like holding my hand, and I can't even put into words how much of a nice human. She's one of those people that's got this aura that's just, she's fabulous. But if you get a chance to meet her, 100% go and meet her. She is fabulous. And we took some pictures as well. Funnily enough, I really like the blurry one. We took about 5 or 6 pictures, and the blurry one I like because it shows the emotion. It's like this build up to So yeah, fast forward to Sunday, after Norman walked away, blah blah blah. I felt ill at this point. I had a headache. I've got neuralgia and I get nerve damage. Like, I've got nerve damage at the base of my skull here, so I get these headaches that are horrible. And I was planning on doing shopping, but there were so many people. Sunday was better for general than Saturday. They let them in at a reasonable time. So it was super crowded. It took me 10 minutes or so just to get out. Just to sort of weave through everybody. Come on, where's what? How are we getting out? Bloody hell. Are we British or not? Q! I'm probably going to think of some things that I wanted to say and wanted to give you advice on. But I can't remember right now. I am starving. One thing to note is next year, and I think starting this year for some of the conventions, they're doing the gold and platinums differently. You don't get the vouchers with it like you do this one. You buy them. So you're guaranteed to get who you want, but you have to buy them. So when you see the gold price is, I don't know, 100 instead of 600, which it probably won't be. It'll probably still be a really high price, I bet, and they'll still raise whatever. But yeah, be aware that you have to buy them on. You just sent the codes through your email so that you can buy people that are sold out, and you don't have to do that thing of, oh my god, please let me get this voucher. Thank you so much for watching. I will link on the screen if I can, and in the description, the Comic Con videos if you want to go and watch those, and I've got gaming stuff on my channel if you like that as well. So thank you, and have fun if you're going to one in the future. And hi, if you're somebody that I spoke to. How you doing? Why is this going to sleep? Am I that boring? This is what happens when I talk to humans. I start to die. Oh! Okay. I actually can't... Oh yeah, in this queue... No wait, what? I can't even remember the queue, whatever. I really need a cup of tea. But I was supposed to be here with my friend. Oh, excuse me. So I got the train into London on at the Olympia.